This is the Freedom Ring.
Happy Friday. Made it through another week.
We did.
Want to say hello to everyone watching on Rumble live. Maria up near the Detroit area. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And also on Spotify as of today. We're on Bitchute. Got our first warning from YouTube.
They took down a video.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
So, you know what that means. We must be saying some things that are right. They're only coming after the people that are hovering over the target.
That's right. Hey, yesterday we got ourselves, as you just mentioned, Spotify. And we're now on, what else? Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Amazon Music.
We're on every platform, I think, that we're at least aware of.
There's got to be more.
I'm sure there are, but we're only on about 110 right now. So again, wherever you're consuming the show from, like, share, subscribe, give us a rumble, weigh in on the show, drop us an email. Of course, the email address is going to space me because it's the only one not in front of me right now. Is it freedomringshow?
At Gmail.
At gmail.com. Thank you.
And don't forget to subscribe, folks, so that we give you a little notification when a new edition of this show comes out.
I still talk to people that they see the word subscribe and they automatically go to, I got to pay? No.
It's free.
It's free. It has nothing to do with what you used to subscribe to magazines.
It's nothing other
years
than
ago,
just a notification that you get.
Not like the old Playboy subscription that you had in the 70s. Just click on subscribe, and then when we go live again, you'll be notified.
That's right.
Hunter's laptop and why it must be hotter than we thought. We'll get to in just a few minutes. Also, the red wave, has it already begun? How could it not?
Oh, I think it began after the first impeachment.
I think it began as soon as Mumbles over there was sworn in.
Yeah.
And
is that what really happened?
And Joe Biden's latest text, because you know how socially savvy he is. Yes, he's handling his own social media platforms.
I got to hear that. I missed that. Oh, so you're telling me he did a text?
I'm going to text Putin and let him know. I'll go tell it. Wait, it's backward. Oh,
I didn't know for sure that flip phones had text available.
He's not sending texts out.
No.
Did you see when they were at the White House and Obama came, and everyone it was earlier this week that Obama was there.
I saw it.
What was the real reason he was there? We don't know.
That is a good point, because it's funny how I tell myself and I tell my audience, our audience, to flip everything they say by 180 degrees. But then sometimes I forget. And I was reminded again, I watched Phil Godlewski, and he was saying, that wasn't the reason Obama was there. And I'm thinking,
we'll find out.
Yeah.
Eventually we'll find out what the real reason is.
Well, I haven't finished watching his video, so
I was just entertained by everyone ignoring Joe Biden.
I know. And it looked like a little puppy dog at some point. Where
right.
Like,
this is the leader of the free world, and ain't no one paying him attention.
Yeah. He's like, Obama?
Yeah. He tapped him on the shoulder like,
I'm your friend.
Remember me? Remember me? And he blew him off, and Kamala was right there, and then he walked off to the side of the platform, and he waved to somebody that wasn't there.
You know, and I hear several folks have said, God, I feel so sorry for him. And maybe I'm just cold as hell, but I am not sorry for that criminal whatsoever.
Had he not preceded all this with 50 years of criminality, scams, lies, everything that he's done.
Look what he's done to this country, to everybody in it.
Plagiarizing other people's speeches and not giving a damn.
America is the shining light on this earth. And look what he's done to America, which has affected the world. It's pathetic.
And because of all of this, this is why we choose to begin every show with a little bit of faith and inspiration. Because, I mean, the world, this country, unfortunately, it's being run by just pure evil. And we need God in our life more than ever. And that's why we said when we started this podcast that we would go into every show with Just faith and inspiration. And I found this one in Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. Quick little phrase here. Be strong, be brave, be fearless. You are never alone. And I think all of us need to heed that. Be strong, be brave, be fearless. You are never alone. And after I read that last night, I jotted down some bullet points. Right now, the world needs you, needs me, needs everybody. The world needs all of us, and we've been silent long enough, those of us who believe in God, family, and morals. And again, we make mistakes. We're sinners. We're not perfect. That's why we go to church. That's why we pick up the Bible.
Unfortunately, that's our our DNA.
Right. And I ran into a guy that's like, oh, you holy rollers, which, by the way, I'm not. Nor am I a Bible thumper. I'm just an average Joe. And that's why we go, is because to basically cleanse ourselves. And it's not because we think we're holier than thou, and we're not above anybody. We go there because we're not all that. When you're in that atmosphere, it kind of rejuvenates your spirit, And his whole view of people that go to church, well, those are the people that think they're better than us. I'm like, dude, you really need to just go in just once, and then pay attention. It's more like we know how bad we are. Right. Or how bad the things around us are. And we kind of want to cleanse ourselves of it. It's time we come together and demand better. It's time we get loud and be heard. Absolutely. Demand God back in our schools, and not fear what the opposition thinks of you. Not fear what people that have opposing views are going to say about you. Forget them. And just remember, you are not alone. Again, be strong, be brave, be fearless. You are never alone. And just know that we're stronger in numbers, but we've got to make a move individually first. Yeah. Before we become we have to become I. So start screaming yourself, and then you're going to find the people around you. It's kind of like, if I had to use an example, you go to the grocery store, and you look around when people were starting to talk about taking off the masks, and somebody took it off first, and then somebody noticed. That was me. And then somebody else took it off. And then now you look around, and there's like probably 4 people throughout the whole grocery store that actually have it on. And I'm sorry, they look a little weird now. Yeah. It's like, dude, you look paranoid. Especially the ones that are by themselves outside. Why are you afraid of clean air? Turn the television off, man. They're just... It's terrible what they've done to folks. The way they think, yeah. That's where we need to be fearless, and when we come together in numbers, I mean, fear is what the devil wants you to live in. And that's what God warns you against. Right. Stay away from it. And on the other side of fear is bliss. If we do it individually, together we'll be unstoppable, and we can take this world back, this country back, and crush the evil that's been trying to ruining things. Amen. Not just for the last couple of years. This has been ongoing, obviously. Yep. But yep. There we go. Now that we feel clean, let's dive into the mud. Jack Maxey, who gave lawmakers and news outlets Hunter Biden's laptop, says he has recovered more than 120,000 deleted emails, 80,000 images, a lot of which I know I want to see, but there's some images I'm pretty certain I don't ever want to see. Yeah. Some of them have already leaked, involving Hunter buck naked and smoking the glass pipe there. 80,000 images and a huge cache of new data from Hunter's laptop. Jack previously worked as a researcher from the War Room, or for the War Room. That's the podcast run by Steve Bannon, and he told the Daily Mail he recently fled from the United States to Switzerland, fearing retaliation from the White House. So he knows he's got quite the info. The Clintons are after him. Yeah, I would imagine that's one of the last names that are all over it, too. There's a little history that seems to follow that married couple around. That wasn't staged. He told the DailyMail.com, quote, "I came here to Zurich so that we could do a forensic examination of Hunter's laptop safely in our country that still safely in a country that still respects human liberty and the ideals of liberal democratic principles." They said he has plans to post all the content online in a searchable database in the coming weeks. Looking forward to that. The bottom is starting to crack.
It can't come fast enough for me.
No. Hopefully, I was wishing a year ago we'd have some of this already. But Another says emails are shocking and could bring down Washington as we know it.
That would be a good thing. As long as it was for the better and not for the worse.
It's got to be for the better. How much worse can it get?
Exactly.
I do not believe this would have been possible inside the United States. We had numerous attempts on us from trying to do things like this before. The Times reported that Hunter Biden is now the subject of an active federal grand jury, though the mainstream media, I watched World News Tonight on ABC last night, not a single mention of any story that we have today.
It's not in the narrative, man, and you won't hear it. Probably until the very last minute when it's absolutely
not even
undeniable. So much of it is out,
Yeah.
That's when maybe they will say, well, Hunter had bought a laptop back in 19, blah, 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 or, I don't know.
So Hunter's the subject of an active federal grand jury in Delaware probing his business and tax transactions. Maxey also said the FBI failed to enter the laptop it got from the computer repairman into evidence for months. Just forgot. Man. We're not part of this scam.
Yeah.
No.
We're buying that.
Come on. We just forgot. Don't you ever forget things? Well, so do we.
It was just a laptop.
We're human beings.
With 80,000 images.
We weren't quite aware of what was on it. Or who's or what? Hunter who?
It's just pictures.
I didn't want to pry in their vacations.
It's not my laptop.
How would you like if I went through all your stuff?
Yeah. You want me to go through your drawers at your house?
Sounds like something Joe already did.
Oh my God.
Sorry, Joe. That's not the clean laundry. I don't care. Leader of the free world, I am.
I'll pray for you.
Yeah, let me read that again.
It's
Be
from the
strong,
top.
be brave, be fearless. We're being fearless.
Okay.
We're being strong, brave, and fearless. And we are not alone. Like Michael Jackson saying, "You are not alone."
I know. The CIA's right outside my house.
He says, still to this day, I can't understand how Leon Panetta, James Clapper, Michael Hayden, and John Brennan declared it to be a fabrication. The cover-up of the laptop is a bipartisan problem and should be investigated. Boy, you think?
Absolutely.
Says, very dear friends of mine were making welfare calls to me every day to see if I was still alive. We have an election coming up in the fall, and my prayer is that every member of the United States House and Senate who are running for office this year get replaced. Republicans and Democrats. We need to take back the country.
Absolutely. I read one time where 90% of our government was absolutely corrupt. And one of the reasons why they haven't taken them out is because we wouldn't have a government.
Well, I think it speaks volumes, and we've already said this, I think, last week. Michael Francis, who used to be a higher, big moneymaker for, I believe it was the Colombo crime family in New York. Here's like a high-ranking mafia official. And he asked a question, who in the mafia should people fear today? It's like, you don't need to fear the mafia. It's Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
If that doesn't wake you up, as an actual former member of the mob, criminals by trade, you ain't got to worry about it's them.
Yeah, it was like
they're doing things that make us look like choir boys.
It's like the independent mafia wasn't just it was kind of a waste of their time. I got an idea. Let's infiltrate the U.S. government.
Right.
And we can take whatever we want. Hey, Biden, come here. How much?
Yeah. I'll go toe-to-toe with you. I'll go toe-to-toe with you.
Unbelievable.
Neapolitan. Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Strawberries.
Oh.
Okay. Sorry, enough about that. What's this Project 65 all about?
Have you ever heard of lawfare?
Is that a TV show, a movie, or?
It's kind of where they use our laws to destroy us.
Oh,
through lawyers' efforts, that sort of thing. Well, a former ranking official within the Justice Department is sounding the alarm over a plot to professionally destroy any and all lawyers who are associated with then President Donald Trump's cases, challenging some of the electoral results from battleground states where unconstitutional changes to voting procedures took place ahead of the 2020 election.
Isn't that commonplace for all former presidents? I think they destroy them.
I think, yeah.
So if you're just an average person, and again, I like to use sports analogies, and you want to destroy the competition, it's probably because they're a threat. They've got something on you. You know, you want to destroy them because they're a better team. Or you want to destroy him because, well, he's a better team. He runs things better. You're jealous that an outsider, not a career politician, came in and just kind of schooled you beyond belief. And not only that, more importantly, exposed you for the criminals that you are. So what do? Create something like this.
It's their way of saying, don't anybody ever challenge us again.
Right.
Because this is what we will do to you.
Because this is still a free land.
Right?
This isn't Nazi Germany. No.
Unbelievable. So in an article posted by Revolver News, Jeffrey Clark, a former assistant attorney general at the DOJ, writes about this Project 65, which he says is a plot hatched by the left-wing extremists to take down those attorneys in ways that he believes will permanently damage a founding pillar of our legal system, which is part of the scheme as well. The left has set the lines of the battle. Any lawyers who worked for President Trump, along with any lawyers he retained to mount his various 2020 election contests, must be crushed, must have their noses rubbed in the dirt, must, if possible, lose their jobs and even their right to practice law. Project 65 is allegedly led by former conservative David Brock, who founded the far-left media watchdog site Media Matters for America.
Sound like some pretty warm and fuzzy human beings there.
Oh, people that you'd just love to meet. And punch them right in the face.
With a chair.
With a chair.
That's the best phrase. Some people need a slap in the face. No, somebody need a... How does that go? Some people need a slap in the face with a chair. According to the National Pulse, all House Democrats on the Judiciary Committee... Wow, I said it right. Voted against a proposed amendment to a domestic terrorism bill that would have prevented American intelligence and security agencies from receiving taxpayer funds to, quote, monitor, analyze, investigate, or prosecute Americans unvaccinated against the COV, the big old vid. Mm-hmm. The term domestic terrorism, however, has seen its definition reoriented under Joe Biden, with a recent memo from the Department of Homeland Security claiming individuals spreading conspiracy theories and disinformation pose a significant threat to American national security. So because you did your due diligence and gathered information that contested their lies, you are a threat to society.
Because you found out you're going to incriminate. Or
you are no longer
imprison us.
Allowed to think for yourself.
Absolutely
not. Don't question what we put in front of you.
Nope, don't do it.
Zoo will like it.
Don't spend your time trying to figure out what we did.
Zoo will love it. As long as you stay in line. Welcome to America.
He's pretty scary, isn't he?
Not as scary as what I'm reading.
Well, I don't know. Those faces, man. I find myself waking up in the middle of the night.
Is this what they see now when they get to Ellis Island? Welcome! You want to live your American dream? Oh, first give me your arm, and we ingest you. Don't question. Who are you to question?
Are you okay now?
No, I'm not. I'm not at all.
I know.
I was until I got here.
I'll call Dr. Fauci in here.
No!
He'll help you.
The document was actually released in February, singled out individuals sharing election fraud and COVID-19 related stories.
How about Walensky? She's in there too.
Quote, we should not be laughing during this stuff, man. This is like hell on paper.
I know. Sometimes you laugh so hard you just cry. You know?
I live in America.
I love this place.
The way we were. There is widespread online proliferation of false or misleading narratives regarding unsubstantiated widespread election fraud and COVID-19 information. Grievances associated with these themes inspired violent extremist attacks during 2021. First of all, there are medical documents that back all of this up, some of which you guys... I'm not talking about our viewers. I don't want to put them in the same category. I apologize for that. They and Pfizer tried hiding for 75 years.
Absolutely, and they know the truth. They know all about everything.
And second, the only violent attacks came from the people representing their views, and maybe we're on their payroll too. That's basic street smarts can have you read through that.
Wow. You're really smart this morning. You're figuring stuff out.
It's because I ingested this. It's smart juice. Thank God it's Friday. I need to sleep this off for a couple of days.
Yeah.
At least I'm making you laugh.
Well, I'm sitting here watching the video as it's being broadcast, and I'm like...
I'm certifiably insane. The memo promoted Republican Congressman Andy Biggs to introduce an amendment. Oh, this is the scary part. Well, it's all scary. The memo promoted Republican Congressman Andy Biggs to introduce an amendment of a revised version of the bill, ensuring that unvaccinated Americans would not be targeted by American intelligence and security agencies. And all House Democrats on the committee voted against it.
Oh, against it?
Yeah. Shocker, right?
Imagine that.
The vote comes while pharmaceutical giants, including Pfizer and Moderna, are increasing their lobbying efforts to record high levels. I don't see any correlation there at all.
Next story.
Some people are trying to hose Clarence Thomas. Is that what I understand?
You heard about that. You were just talking about the House Judiciary Democrats.
Judiciary.
That's what I said.
That is not what you put a W in there, dude.
Judiciary.
That was it. Elmer Fudd is judiciary.
I can't say it, so I'm just going to say House Democrats.
House Democrats was saying.
Are up to their old tricks and planning a closed-door meeting to come up with a plot to force Justice Clarence Thomas to recuse himself from cases related to January 6th. Now, that same committee last month leaked Clarence's wife's, Jenny, her name, text exchanges with Mark Meadows to the Washington Post as her husband was hospitalized with an infection. Some of the Democrats on the committee, chaired by Gerald Nadler, have suggested drafting legislation that would change the recusal standards, a move that is arguably unconstitutional. Could you imagine that? A government that would try to go against our Constitution?
No. Bill, I'm not going to have these lies and these whacked out stories told. You know, when Bill was 7, he used to sit by the fireplace during Christmas time and just come up with these fantasies and these tales. And apparently he's still at it.
I'm so sorry. I hate it when you go liberal. I just hate it. There will be a conversation on how to proceed. Some of the folks there are eager to perform some kind of oversight. One of the Democrat lawmakers told NBC on Tuesday, "We totally understand the separation of power issues. So the moral of the story is if you don't like what could happen to you and to yours, change the law or the rule they are not working for the people. They're working for themselves. They're not representing us in any way. They're trying to protect their butts and get what they want.
And stack. Do a little bit more stacking.
Yeah, a little stacking.
Yeah, it's not obvious at all.
No, I'm surprised you could even interpret that.
Right. How did I gather that information?
Man, you've been around this news
These are like
too
the
long.
worst criminals ever.
They are. And this is our government.
Back in the day when you had less technology, maybe that's why. Maybe technology has made the criminals of society just lazy and uncreative. I mean, it's obvious. These they don't give a damn.
No.
But, the most creative person in the neighborhood was usually a thief. They could get in and out without being recognized. These guys are...
They don't even care about not getting caught. They're beyond that now. My wife was telling me, we talk about this sometimes, and one thing that we all need to remember is the people of the world, the United States, every country, I think are generally good people.
The masses are, yes.
I think so. So in other words, when we say China is bad, it's not the people. The people there are awesome.
No, it's not Chinese people.
It's the CCP. It's the government.
Yeah,
it's always the government that corrupts everything and ruins everything and goes against the people. Why do we ever let them have power?
We know we're the masses. Again, Joshua chapter 1, verse 9, be strong, be brave, be fearless. You are never alone. We are not alone.
Yeah.
We're just more cordial and quiet. I think a little bit more mentally balanced.
And kind of keep to ourselves and help folks when we need to. And
the masses like to keep to ourselves and stay in our lane.
But every time we do that, the government knows what we're doing. Oh, they're sleeping, the peasants. Well, and then they go back to their planning and all their evil things that they're up to.
You've just poked the bear.
Yeah.
And we're waking up. Some of us have been, I don't want to say woke. Refuse to say that word.
Yeah.
But some of us have wakened up. Well, that's a word I always screw up. Awoken, awakened. What is it?
Awoken.
Woken?
Awoken.
I don't even want to go into that. Woke.
I know, you don't even want to say it. And that's probably why they introduced that word, to throw off the Great Awakening. So we won't talk about it anymore, right?
So, we are, the masses are quiet. We're just upstanding, normal people.
Normal people.
That's not egotistical. I'm not saying we're above anybody. You know what I mean.
We're just all searching for, get off work, go home, spend time with our family, do our hobbies, do things that we enjoy.
Leave us alone.
Live our lives. Just live our lives.
How small must your penis be to where you have to live like this and pry into other people's lives and just take control and
like $500 trillion and a whole dome full of gold is not enough for you.
No hobbies, no.
Yeah, that's become their hobby. That's their whole life, I guess. It's crazy.
Hundreds of protesters this week swarmed Disney headquarters in Burbank, California, to protest some of Disney's recent actions, which are woke.
There you go again.
And pushing a sexualized and LGBT narrative on children. Signs read, and most of us heard about this already, but signs read things like Disney is demonic, parents pay attention, and pedophilia is real. Drew Hernandez, host of Frontlines, attended the rally and posted a video of a woman who said she was a cast member at Disneyland and has been for quite some time. It's gotten very political, she says, at Disneyland, and it's gotten very hard to be who you are. It's gotten very hard to be someone who has conservative values, someone who believes in the right to choose, someone who believes that it's okay to stand up for righteousness, and it is okay to stand up for righteousness, she says. At any Disney cast members that are afraid to be bold, they are afraid to be courageous, stand up. It's okay. You are not alone. Coincidentally, going back to the beginning of the show, I don't plan it this way. See, yesterday we were talking about God speaking. Mm-hmm. He delivers themes every single day.
I think so.
Be strong, be brave, be fearless. You are not alone. That's exactly what she's kind of alluding to. Another prosecutor announced that Disney is filled with pedophiles, which is actually accurate because, or based on several arrests since at least 2008 regarding Disney employees and child pornography and other sexual stings related to children. I forget exactly why I saw it earlier this week. There was a link that had to have nearly 80 employees of Disney, both locations in Florida and California, that were busted for child-related. Some were rape, some were just fondling kids in a park, some were busted going over 12-year-old houses, and the whole disgusting. And they're working for Disney.
The Great Awakening. We're all waking up to the truth.
Meanwhile, Disney executives have announced their commitment to creating 50% of their content for either LGBTQs or ethnic minorities as a part of their Reimagine Tomorrow campaign. Yeah, I'm going to reimagine most of you people in jail tomorrow, hopefully later today.
Yeah.
And of course, let's see. They no longer address people as ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, but rather as dreamers and friends. And in fact, in the upcoming Toy Story spinoff, which I'm going to encourage no one watch, there's a lesbian kissing. I mean, again, the guy in me is like, big deal. But you're talking about a children's movie here. Yeah, we got to force the lesbian kissing scenes and all this stuff. Come on, man.
It's unbelievable. I saw a photograph yesterday of a Disney, I think it was a card, and it had a picture of Mickey Mouse and one of the other characters, and one of them was holding a blue penis. Right in your face, and they're so conniving, they figure a way to draw it where it kind of fits in so smoothly with the picture that
so if you're not looking for it, you don't see it.
You don't see it, but you subliminally you see it. You're conscious.
I mean, was it like a marital aid, or
it was an absolute penis, and it
was he stirring a big vat of something? And
it was like,
I need something to stir this with. Oh, God. I got Minnie's marital aid here.
It was like two. Maybe it was the female and the Mickey. I don't know is her name Minnie?
Mickey and Minnie, yeah.
Mickey and Minnie. So they were hugging each other, and Minnie was looking down instead of at Mickey. She was looking down at the penis as he was holding it in his hand. It's disgusting. Folks, everybody, I pray to God that everybody viewing this video right now that has some family or a family that that has children that watch Disney all the time, God, pull them aside somehow and start the conversation. My own family, I won't mention who, but the kids involved, and they love Disney. In this particular family, I can't really talk to them. They're not open to hearing me. And so I see this stuff.
Lean that way?
Kind of in the middle, but think I'm a conspiracy theory nut. And drink that coffee, pal.
Conspiracy theory nut. Wow. The printer almost wore that coffee.
And all I'm doing is using my critical thinking. I'm not a conspiracy nut. I know when something's crazy, like when you talk about flat Earth all the time. I know.
Hey, Mr. Spin, what are you, a lib?
I learn well. Yes. I observe.
Right. Using their playbook on me?
Yeah, of course.
Bastard.
It almost worked. Darn, you're just too smart. I forget you're a critical thinker.
So they're all about Disney and anything.
Just the kids love Disney. And I know a few other. Look, we all grew up on it. It's a big, huge influence in lives. But where do you start to try to get them to listen? To get them to listen to you and consider what you're saying is true.
Some of them I found aren't just.
It's just
you just aren't going to get through.
Oh no, it's sad. I mean, it really bothers me.
Something really bad might happen, or unfortunately might have to happen while they're at a Disney-themed park before they fall in line and go, oh, whoa, he was actually kind of knew what he was talking about. I don't wish that on anyone.
I don't either. I just wish that more would wake up. And I was watching another program, a gal that gives prophecy all the time, and she was saying that God is in process of lifting the blinders off of eyes, and that people will wake up. It's like there's a spirit.
I'd like to fast forward that process.
Yeah.
Can we just get there?
It's almost like there's a spirit right now on Earth that's come down and it's blinded everybody, or a lot of people.
I can't speak for other countries, but for our particular country, I think it's just part of it, not just, but part of it is just laziness and being spoiled living here, that we just kind of put it in neutral and like, whatever, man.
Yeah, if I admit
we're going camping this weekend and I got a cooler loaded with beer, I don't care. The boat is all gassed up. We're going. I don't care about your conspiracy theories. I don't care about what's going on in third world nations. I don't give a damn what they're planning in Washington, D.C. I know I'm getting hammered on Saturday. We're going water skiing.
Yeah. It's kind of like we don't want to give up things that we love. So if you're a Disney lover, you collect all the stuff, you watch all the shows, you don't want to stop that. You just love it. It's part of who you are, or part of your hobby, your passion that you love. And so it's hard for us to just walk away from that, look at it and say, oh my God, that's evil. But sometimes you have to. I watched TV for a long time. And like 3 or 4 years ago, I watched Sean Hannity for the last time. I just couldn't take any of it anymore, and I cut the cord. And I never watch TV. I won't.
I'll attest to that. I'll bring up something that just was huge on TV last week.
Yeah, I didn't even know what he's talking about. He'll mention some movies.
It's almost a happier way to live life because you are unplugged.
I'm totally unplugged, and the only thing that I watch would be, the online videos, and I play a lot of music.
All those conspiracy theories. He's all about that, man.
Did you ever play an album by the Beatles backwards?
I did Black Sabbath when I was a kid. Love was hell on earth. Hell is in Washington, D.C.
Nancy Pelosi.
Yes. I am Nancy Pelosi. Sound like that?
I think you were the one that was talking on that thing. Now I'm not afraid of it anymore.
John is dead. The Beatles. Yes, we did that in the 80s with turntables.
Yeah. We were doing it in the 60s with the Beatles, baby.
Sounds like the red wave has already started.
Absolutely. On Tuesday, Republican State Representative Samantha Kirkman was elected as Kenosha County's executive, possibly heralding the beginning of a red wave. Jim Cruiser, who held the position since 2008, announced his retirement last May. Democrat Rebecca Matoska Mintic was beaten by the self-described...
Wait. Is that one name? Mentalicostikifiglifigic?
Hyphenated. I guess her husband and her real name or whatever. You know what they did.
All right.
She was beaten by self-described conservative by roughly 51% to 48% of the vote for the 4-year term in a nonpartisan election. It was, however, not a secret which party each candidate belonged to. Consequently, Kirkman, 47 years old, becomes the county's first female executive and only the 5th person to hold that position, which is about 60 miles from Chicago, 40 miles from Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. That was a county from that Kyle Rittenhouse was from, and they held the trial there in Kenosha, where a jury found him not guilty of shooting 2 men to death during the unrest.
I would have to imagine at this point, most of the nation is red, and what isn't is insane.
And I absolutely think that it was already red, and I do believe that Trump won all 50 states.
Right, you're right. It was already. It's got to be a solid red now.
It probably was a solid red.
Legitimately.
It's like now the water surrounding the country is red. It's like everything is red. I totally believe that, and I'm still a little paranoid about the vote in November of what's going to happen because I still see these stupid machines there, and I don't see enough, unless I have heard that there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that we don't know about, that the media is not talking about, so a lot of people are uninformed, but I just don't have the confidence, And I'll tell you what, if they try to steal it again, that's when something, I think, terrible
There's got to be a
happen.
huge uprising.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's no way.
Because we already know from the last time, and if it happens again, it's going to be beyond the shadow of a doubt. And are we going to tolerate
the hell
it?
is going to believe that?
Yeah.
You can't.
They almost, if they're smart, they're almost best to give it a rest for a 4-year term.
Greed knows no rest.
Well, that's true.
Power grabs, they know no rest.
It's true.
And it's just it's off the charts insanity and evil. That's the only way you can describe it.
You're totally right.
Yes, I am not left. I am totally right.
Nor have you left. You're still here.
Did you see Joe Biden's tweet?
No, I didn't see it. I heard you talking about it.
Because he looks completely plugged in when it comes to social media, right?
Oh, absolutely. He's right on top of it.
You know he does his own tweeting. Right, okay. It says, as a result of our unprecedented sanctions, the ruble was almost immediately reduced to rubble. And he's very creative and quippy that way, too. The Russian economy is on track to be cut in half. It was ranked the 11th biggest economy in the world before this invasion, and soon it will not even rank among the top 20. Okay, that is Joe Biden's, one of his latest tweets.
One of his latest lies.
Air quotes. According to Natural News, whatever you have heard or read regarding the alleged damage U.S.-led Western sanctions are doing to Russia's economy, you should take them with a grain of salt. The Russian government is doing fairly well, all things considered, and in fact, Moscow is on pace for a banner year in oil and gas sales, meaning Vladimir Putin isn't likely to run out of money to fund his war effort in Ukraine anytime soon. So who do you believe?
Are they not going into a gold-backed monetary system?
I think they already have.
Yeah, I
I'm
think they
almost
have too.
certain they already have.
Yes.
And to the deep state, that's just a big old middle finger. And is that why he's portrayed in the media as the modern-day Hitler? Because he won't fall in line and he won't be told what to do? Wish we had a leader like that.
We used to.
And then lastly, because I'm getting our show is over music over there. Are you getting the cane?
No, I just got a call. Like, get him off!
Texas Governor Greg Abbott says, according to this text, that Texas will be sending charter buses of illegal migrants to Washington, D.C. Quote, the Biden administration will be able to more immediately address the needs of the people that they're allowing to come across the border. Now, initially, everyone was like, all right, yeah! We saw this yesterday before we parted ways, and you actually came up with a better idea of saying, you know what? Forget Washington, D.C. Send them back south.
Get them the hell out of this country.
Don't even let them in.
Don't let them fool you. They're trying to trick you.
Do you think Washington, D.C., when these buses arrive, are gonna give a damn?
They're going to take those illegals and disperse them further into the country is exactly what's going to happen. So don't let them fool you that this is. When I first read that story, I laughed. I'm like, yeah, take them there. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute. Get them the hell out of this country.
Stop allowing them in.
They don't belong here.
Although if they show up in Washington, D.C., they could probably do a damn better job than anyone that's in there right now.
Yeah, that's probably true.
All right, we are on Rumble. Thank you for watching live. Please come back and visit it later. We're on Bitchute. Like, share, subscribe.
Very important for us. Please subscribe. Also, our website, freedomringshow.com. You can catch all of our links right there. We're on Facebook, a couple different pages.
Suggestions, whatever, via email, whatever you want for the show, or just join the show. You're more than welcome to join the show. Tell us more of this, less of that.
Give us Rumble rants while we're live. We love to hear from you. We absolutely love hearing from you, and we love to hear your feedback as well. We appreciate you listening to The Freedom Ring.
Have a great weekend.
Absolutely.
Be good to each other. Remember, be strong, be brave, be fearless. You are never alone. Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. It's The Freedom Ring. I'm Matt. That's Bill. Later on.